Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tom's Drams. I'm Tom, and this is a Dram of the Week. Alright, welcome, guys, to Tom's Drams, to another episode. Today, we're taking a look at an Indian whiskey, which is definitely a first for me in general. I've never had an Indian whiskey before in my life. Just take a look at this, beautiful color here. If you can see that, just a beautiful color that we have here, a nice, rich, dark golden color. This is Rampur Vintage Select. All right, so this is really spicy. Just very interesting, very interesting. So this has a pretty quick aging process because obviously the climate in India is quite warm. So it's pretty interesting how they age this because they actually, the angel share in India is actually between 12 and 16% per year, which is crazy if you consider that in Scotland, you have an angel share of about 2% per year. 12 to 16% is the angel share in India, which is what this has to deal with. There is no age statement on it, but I assume it is pretty young. It doesn't show on the nose, though. So far on the nose, it does not show any kind of, youngness or metallic youngness or anything like that. So let's just take a look at what the manufacturer themselves say about it. So they say the Genesis Rampur Select Indian Single Malt Whiskey, non-chill filtered, which is always nice to see. I also assume non-colored, but they don't really say that. Indulge in the rich Indian heritage and enduring traditions of the Maharajas. Aged in the foothills of the Himalayas, this exquisite whiskey is the Kohinoor of single malts. So the Kohinoor is actually a diamond. So the Kohinoor is one of the largest cut diamonds in the world, weighing 105 carats. So India is really proud of that diamond. It's one of the British crown jewels, actually, which was donated to the English, crown. So the Kohinoor of single malt. So they want to say this is really one of their really good ones. This beautiful nectar is a winner of many international awards, including the double gold medal San Francisco, USA. So it did get some awards. And it does smell beautiful, really nice. So let's check out the maturation. They don't actually state it, which casks they use for this one, but I'm assuming it is simply, ex-bourbon casks the entire way. So what I get from this one is quite a lot of spices. Like I said, I'm getting a lot of cinnamon, some clove, and also definitely some nuttiness that I would assume would be something like nutmeg. Yeah, clear nutmeg on this nose. Some nuttiness, some almonds, stuff like that. But it's not like a sherry nuttiness. It's kind of different. It's more of a spicy nuttiness like nutmeg, which has some nuttiness to it, but it's much spicier than that. And some cinnamon. Very nice. Some honey. Some pretty overlaying heavy honey note. This is very sweet. This is very sweet on the nose. And spicy at the same time, which is just super nice. Those two things just complement each other so well. Yeah, you can nose this one for a while. It is pretty nice. So themselves, they say a rich, fruity top note, toffee in the background, floral honey, dried fruits, and a hint of spice. For me, that spice is really dominant for me. So I really get that clove, that nutmeg, that cinnamon, like I said. Very spicy on the nose. And a heavy honey note. So let's take a sip and see. Let's see what happens. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay. Wow. This is different. This is so different. So different to Scotch. It's a little bit bourbon-like, you know? You get quite a bit of similarity to bourbon. But it's much more spicy. There's much more spices involved here. This is like a really complex, spicy bourbon. Is what I would, how I would, describe this. Um, the cinnamon and the nutmeg and stuff really comes back on the palate. Really, no real bitterness. It's just smooth and sweet and spicy. Very, very tasty. I'm actually quite impressed with this Indian whiskey. I wasn't expecting too much, but this is really complex and interesting. Really different, really different. So, what they say, an all around balanced taste with malty and creamy vanilla. All right. Hint of fruits like apricot and apple with a sweet and winey taste. Winey. Yeah, I can see what they're going with this. There might be some wine casks in this maturation, but I'm actually not sure about that. This is really, really interesting. So this is the oldest Indian whiskey distillery, founded in 1943. This is the first Indian whiskey distillery that was ever founded. Um, yeah, I must say this one is really complex. You can nose this one for a while. Let's take a look at the price here. Sorry about that. So the price, this one is about 60 euros, so it's not the cheapest, definitely. But it is something different. If you want something else than bourbon or scotch in your collection, you really should consider one of the Asian whiskeys. Something like this Indian Rampur. This is really interesting stuff, and it's really different to anything else you've had before. It's not smoky at all, so if you're looking for smoke, this is definitely not probably up your alley. But if you like spices like nutmeg, cinnamon, a little bit of sweetness, if you like bourbon, but you want a little bit more, if you want to go into a little bit of a different direction, a little bit more spices, then this is definitely a really good way to go. Yeah, really good one, this one. Yeah, especially being so young. There's not a lot of rough edges here. You get a little bit of oakiness, not too much. There's maybe a tiny bit of a metallic tang in the back, but it's just it's just nice. It is just nice and sweet, and I must say, for probably a pretty young age, this has been aged very well. Quality casks, you can really tell. You get a lot of character from the casks, and this is just something really interesting and different. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.